naked city, a man can search 10,000 side streets, all 22,000 days of his life, and never come face to face with the stranger within himself. Or he can, all of a November night, confront his inner reality. This confrontation can be more shattering than any bullet. This is a story of Adam Flint, his thoughts and feelings, his secret confrontation, his coming face to face with the question of the value of life as he attends as a witness the execution by electricity of a man he helped to arrest.
The letter came 6 days ago.
Dear sir, in accordance with Section 507 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, you are hereby invited to be present as a witness at the execution by electricity of Philip Hames, number 302961, which will occur at this prison on Thursday, November 19th. The hour of 11 p.m. has been designated by me for such execution, and you will arrange to be in this prison not later than 10:30 p.m. Please bring this letter with you. Very truly yours, E.A. Darrell, Warden.
Gentlemen, stand in line, please. Over there. Now, one by one, gentlemen, move on ahead. When you reach the desk, take everything out of your pockets and place it on the desk.
Of course you should go. No gravy, please.
Why?
Why? Because gravy killed more people than bullets, Adam. Stick to the natural juices, huh?
Now, come on, Mike. Don't try to sidestep it. Why should I go?
Black coffee. You were there when we pulled Hames out of that turkey chute, weren't you?
Oh, so were you. So why don't you go? Why me?
Give him a cup, too, whether he wants it or not. Bring his up on mine. Don't say I never took you to lunch, huh?
Mike, why don't you call the warden and ask him to switch names? I'll pass and you go. How about that?
I made my trip to the death house 15 years ago.
See one, you've seen them all, huh?
Someone has to go. It's the law. So many newsmen. So many officers. Particularly those who had something to do with the case. They need witnesses at an execution just like they need jurors at a trial.
Now, wait a minute, Mike. You can't compare the need for jurymen in a trial with going up there, sitting down, and watching this. Well, I'm not going. There's no law that compels me, right?
All right, so you're not going.
You understand? Just Just thinking about going up there, I don't want any lunch.
How many men have you killed, Adam?
Right, so I've killed. I stood in an alleyway somewhere, or behind some door in a rooming house and been shot at and shot back. And when the shooting was over, I walked away. But I did what I had to do.
This warden, Darrow, the man who sent you the ticket, he's got a job to do. The law tells him how many witnesses to get. The law tells him how to get them and who to get them. Okay, it comes up you. Now, if you don't mind, my lunch is getting cold.
Look, Mike, when I went on the cops, I signed up for good and bad, thick and thin. Now, I'm no Pollyanna, you know that. But Ames is a killer, no holds barred. I'm not trying to defend him.
Maloney, you're not. You're like all the intellectuals who yell about society's obligation to the individual. What about the individual's obligation to society? This whole subject of capital punishment has been turned into a gooey swamp of sentimentality. It's our job not to get stuck in it. Our job is to know the law, prevent it from being broken, and arrest those who break it. If a jury or a higher authority rules that some of these breakers have to sit in the chair for the pleasure of having run amok, then that's just where they're going to have to sit.
All right. But I just want to know one thing. Why do you want me to go up there and watch him die?
That gun that you carry gives you the power of life and death right there at your hip. Maybe it's a good thing to think about now and then. Life and death. And when you get up there, it makes you think. Either it'll open up something inside of you or close it up forever. And when you come back, you'll either be a better man or a worse. But you won't be the same.
You can pick it up on your way out.
We've got 4 minutes before we go up to the warden's office. Anybody want to smoke? Now's the time. If anybody's thirsty, there's water in the cooler.
You order the traditional filet mignon?
Poached eggs, milk. His ulcer's acting up.
First time? Me too. Let me tell you something. If anybody ever had it coming, it's this guy Ames. You a reporter?
New York City Police.
Well, I'd like to be the boy that pulls the switch on this baby.
Now, that one's for openers. In case anybody figures they should get out of line. I haven't made up my mind yet, Fink, whether I'm going to kill you. That depends on how good this goes, how much there is in the kitty, how far from that gun you keep your hand, and whether the guards just hand it through the window or whether they got to come in, you know? We got 9 minutes to go. Now, when they come with the payroll, don't let them in. Just open your window and take the money through there and cool it, Dad. Cool it all the way, see?
Hiya, Tommy. Saw you across the room, couldn't get to you.
Johnny Ortel, man, it's been too long. Hey, I hear you made lieutenant.
About time.
I don't know. Look at me. I'm still a broken-down private cop. I didn't know you'd been on this case.
I brought Hames back from Oklahoma 4 years ago, before he made the big time. Sat in a train with him all the way east. I could have told anybody who'd have listened. Hames held a one-way ticket to the chair. Man, was he full of hate.
Yeah, like I was telling this guy. Chair's too good for Hames. People of New York State are putting him out of his misery with more mercy than he ever showed.
You can sure set that to music, Tommy.
Yeah.
Officer, is there some kind of a wall in there or something that separates us from him?
It's just a plain old room, Mr. Jasper. If Haines wants to breathe right in your face, there's nothing to stop him.
My city editor told me distinctly that there was a wall in there, something in between us.
Oh, yeah, you must mean the petition.
Yes, that's what it was, a petition.
Well, it's just a low slab of wood that keeps the witnesses from photographing the execution with a concealed camera. You can't let pictures like that get out.
But you searched us.
You newspaper guys can get pretty tricky.
Where's that water cooler?
All right, gentlemen. Follow me, please.
Why am I frightened? Is it because I'm trapped? And there's no turning back?
Come on, Frank. Come on. I'm getting too old for you to get this bad. Now, you want me to talk to Mike? Maybe you'll get the warden to cancel your ticket.
Good evening, gentlemen. You have been invited to witness the execution by electricity of Philip Hames, number 302961, convicted by a jury of murder in the first degree. Now, barring a last-minute stay from the governor, Hames will be executed in 19 minutes. You'll find at the execution itself, once the condemned man has entered the death chamber, we'll move swiftly. This is done to spare him any more suffering than necessary. You'll also find there's no talking. No conversation is called for among our men. The procedure is well rehearsed, and any communication required will be done by hand signal. The only voice you may hear will be that of the Reverend Charles J. Donnellan, our chaplain, in final prayers. Lieutenant, is the van ready?
Yes, sir.
Very well, gentlemen. If you will come with me.
I spent the afternoon sitting here and Ames over there.
Well, that, my friend, is one of the unique conveniences of being executed. Your family knows to the second when you're going to die.
What do you talk about? Tell Arthur to eat his cereal? The plumber fix that leak in the kitchen sink?
Did I really cry for 3 days? Is it true, did I?
Young man, I don't even know who you are.
Flint. Adam Flint. Does my name mean anything to you?
Miss Pomeroy, hold the call to Bellevue for a few minutes. You ask me, did you cry for 3 days? I ask you, do you always bust into offices this way?
Doctor, were my lips really blue?
Why don't you sit down? Tell me what you think's wrong. Headache, stomach, things like that, you know.
Will you please think back, Doctor, 32 years. September 16th, 4:40 a.m. There was a young girl named Margaret. There was Margaret, and I guess it was a nurse, and there was you and I. Do you remember?
You're saying I delivered you.
My mother had one of those baby books, you know? The kind that record the weight of a baby and the length of a baby, and the name of the delivering doctor. Well, Doctor, it was your name. What happened? I mean, how was it? Did I really cry the way my mother said I did for the first 3 days of my life? From the very first second I saw light, did I cry, just cry?
I see now what it is. You're in analysis, aren't you? Well, I wouldn't worry about those first few minutes, young man. You look like you turned out just fine.
Why should you remember? I guess there were thousands of babies that have cried since then. One must be pretty much like another.
I've been out of obstetrics for the last 10 years, young man. Before that, yes, there were thousands of babies. The only ones I remember are the ones I lost.
Fifth and 6 seats over, sir.
Dear sir, in accordance with Section 507 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, you are hereby invited to be present as a witness
This particular concert has always lifted you off the mat before. What's the matter? No levitation tonight? Let's go and see what the clubs have to offer, hmm? Shh. I can't talk here.
Would you?
I wouldn't dream of it.
But you think Mike's right, and I should.
Did I say so?
You didn't say no.
I stopped disagreeing with you a long time ago.
Please, honey, no. Don't be cute.
Sorry. I guess I was a little cute.
Mike really hit me where I live. Oh, he skipped the duty appeal. Although he kept insisting it was some sort of duty I owed my profession. But he got to me when he asked me how did I ever expect to find out what I am if I blocked off certain experiences. Then I got thinking, what am I?
You can get greedy seeking experiences, Adam.
But experience isn't what happens to a person. It's what that person does with what happens, you know? It's like Huxley wrote. If a little knowledge is a dangerous thing, show me the man who has so much as to be out of danger.
You didn't really want to discuss this, did you?
What do you think we're doing?
You're telling me. You've decided to. Accept the invitation after all, haven't you?
Why? Why do I feel I have to? When I really don't want to. I really don't want to.
I don't know. But you'd better go so we can both find out.
This room could easily be the laundry room of a West Side apartment house. Except for that white hospital table on wheels. Already in position. And those odd-looking gadgets. They make you realize it's more than an ordinary cellar. Those things. And us. There's something more in this room than that chair. Those people. And us. Yes. Yes, that's it. Obedience. And a need. A need to keep busy. Like this reporter next to me. Making a detailed sketch of the chair. Piling facts between himself and what he feels. And even the other reporters, racing their pencils through their notebooks, trying to hold on to facts. How many doors are there in this room? How many feet from where we sit to where the warden stands? What have I to hold on to? Where do I look? What do I focus on? I remember now. There's an altar just down the corridor. Mike mentioned that part of it.
don't understand. Did they use the same lumber to build the altar as they used to build these pews? And to construct this rail? Philip Ames is about to die. I'll die too. At some undesignated hour. In some unknown place. But a man named Hames will die here. Now.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Why doesn't the priest look at us?
Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. On earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
that you be taken to state prison, and there on the 19th day of November, in accordance with the procedures of the state of New York, be put to death. And may God have mercy on your soul.
But deliver us from evil. Amen.
You're wasting time. You're wasting time.
Has it been just 2 minutes since Ames walked into this room? I feel as though I've never been anywhere but here. In this seat. In this chamber.
Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Amen.
In accordance with the procedures of the state of New York, be put to death. And may God have mercy on your soul.
Amen.
How about the time Elsie asked me to fix the light on the back porch and I touched that live wire? Wow.
You kill in cold blood. You die in cold blood. What's keeping him? I never knew it went so slow.
Don't let me be sick. Please, don't let me be sick in front of all these men.
You could tell. 4 years ago, on the ride back from Oklahoma, he had to end up here.
I pronounce this man dead.
All right, gentlemen.
What's the official time, Warden?
Entered room at 11. Pronounced dead at 11:05:32.
Nobody's asking you to go up there and approve or disapprove, to like it or not like it. Our job is to know the law, prevent it from being broken, and arrest those who break it. If a jury or a higher authority rules that some of these breakers have to sit in the chair for the pleasure of having run amok, then that's just where they're going to have to sit. That gun you carry, it gives you the power of life and death, right there on your hip. Maybe it's a good thing to think about every now and then, life and death. You go up there, it'll make you think.
Life is an island surrounded by the tides of death. Until a man knows and faces the finality of death, he cannot know the preciousness of life. There are 8 million stories in the naked city. This has been one of them.
This has been a Screen Gems film presentation. Herbert B. Leonard, executive producer.